You're watching live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sturdivant. That Senate Finance Committee hearing did it wrap up for the day, or Carlene, or are they just taking a break? It's adjourned. So they are done for the day. So that is wrapped up there in our nation's capital. So right now we want to turn to a big story in the state, in the Carolinas. Let me say the Carolinas. We're talking about Real ID. So I always try to make some of this stuff personal to help sort of make it resonate, land with our viewers. I scheduled an appointment for a Real ID back in December, and the first available appointment was March.
I remember you telling me that.
The week of my birthday, middle March, and I had to go to Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem is about an hour and a half away from here. Luckily, it's close to my parents' house, so it wasn't that big of an issue. But it's a trip. And so a lot of folks are looking and like, hey, how can I get the quickest appointment? And
There's no quick appointment.
no, in the DMV, they're having some staffing issues. Admittedly, they're having some staffing issues. They're working to find a new commissioner for the DMV in North Carolina. So my parents right now are trying to figure out how they can get their Real ID expedited. You needed to hop on a flight. You needed to get into federal buildings. And the deadline is May 7th, so you have less than a month. So folks are just kind of showing up to DMV offices, waiting for hours. So our Miles Harris spoke with, did he speak with somebody with the DMV, guys? Or
Yes.
spoke with somebody with the DMV in North
Carolina and South Carolina.
in North Carolina and South Carolina, but we want to run the full interview from the one in North Carolina, DMV in North Carolina. Let's listen in.
So obviously we have a deadline approaching when it comes to trying to get those Real IDs, but like just all in total, how busy has the DMV been with people trying to schedule appointments, whether it is the DMV or for Real IDs or really any ID of this nature? How busy have you guys been?
Our DMV offices are very busy and have been for quite a while. With all the folks moving here, their first interaction with DMV needs to be in person. On top of all the people that are already here and teen drivers that need to come 3 times in about a year and a half time frame to get their license. Our offices are very, very busy.
How much more busy, or kind of tell me what's added to that busyness with now this Real ID deadline approaching? Now we're like, what, a month away, literally. So how's that made things a little bit more chaotic for you guys?
I don't know that I could quantify how much busier it is, because we're already so busy all the time, even without this implementation date. And I will use the word, you could use whatever word you want. We do not use deadline because that makes people think that you need to get in by that date to get the thing, or you won't be able to get it. That is not the case. DMV will be issuing Real IDs for the foreseeable future. I don't see us ever not issuing Real IDs. And so even after May 7th, you can get a Real ID. So if you're not flying until July or August or holiday season, there's no rush to get in by May 7th. You have time to get in. If you are someone who's flying May 7th or shortly thereafter and you don't have a Real ID yet, you may want to talk to TSA, Miles, but our understanding is that it'll be a phased approach. It won't be a hard stop at the terminal. You won't be turned around and sent home. It just might take you a little longer to get through TSA. So that's something to be aware of as well. Not everybody has to have a Real ID. You may not want to get one. You don't need one to drive, to vote, to register for public assistance, to get into go to the hospital, or any of those sort of things. So that's, want to make people aware of that. It's just to fly domestically. You may want to have a Real ID, but if you already have a passport, you don't need to get one. You can use your passport to fly. You may want to get one just for the convenience, and that's fine. And DMVs are open and available for you to do that. As far as appointments go, our appointments are booked 90 days out. And so those new appointments become available just after midnight each day. If 90 days out happens to be a holiday or a weekend, there won't be new appointments available. So we just had that over this past weekend. We were 90 days out from the 4th of July. We're not open on the 4th of July. So there were no new appointments added that day. And then Saturday and Sunday, the next 2 days were Saturdays and Sundays. And so yesterday and today, again, there will be no new appointments available for the 90th day out at midnight. Tonight, July 7th, will be available for booking. And any unconfirmed or canceled appointments that are out there, if someone decides to come as a walk-in and they don't need their appointment anymore, those appointments come up and go down throughout the day. And so those would be the appointments that would have come available over the weekend and through the day today until the new 90th day out becomes available at midnight.
Now, one of the things I was going to ask you following that, though, too, is like you mentioned that you guys are stacked. You guys are busy with appointments. Kind of talk to me about, you just sent out, I think, an email about a week or so ago, and kind of ways that you guys are trying to help obviously tackle as many of those appointments. You guys are adding some hours. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's right. And so effective today, we had 42 more offices that started opening at 7 a.m. And so that's an extra hour of appointments and service time each day. 92 of our 115 offices, that's exactly 80%, now offer 10 hours of service Monday through Friday. And so that's been a concerted effort over the last couple of years to ramp that up. September 22, we only had about 25. And so we've been working hard with our employees. It takes our employees to, want that overtime and to be willing to come in an hour earlier to do that. And so we're happy to be able to offer that. And then also starting June 7th, we'll have our Saturday hours that will start. Last several summers, that's been at 16 locations. We're expanding to 20 this year. So that's another effort that's been in the works for many months. These changes don't happen overnight. A lot of time, we want to give our employees time to plan. We have to make sure everything's in a line to allow us to offer these extra hours. And so we're happy to be able to do that. We'd love to offer more, but we only have so many employees. We know people like our appointments. They're very popular. But we can only have as many appointment slots as we have employees. And so it's kind of a numbers game. We're doing the best we can with the staff that we have, and want to make sure that people are checking online to see if they can do their business online. We have a lot of services online. If you're just doing a simple renewal or you lost your ID and you're getting a replacement, you can order a replacement online. You can renew online every other time. But if you need a real ID, you do need to come in person for that, because we need that extra documentation. It's usually a birth certificate or a passport that you already have that we scan into our system to verify you are who you say you are, so you can get the real ID indication, the star on your license or ID.
Okay, Marty, my last question for you though, man, because obviously you guys are still, it looks like, might be dealing with this issue when it comes to having the booked up appointments throughout North Carolina. As far as anybody from the consumer side that's looking to try to get any information or anything done, what is the best piece of advice or one piece of advice that you would give anybody trying to schedule an appointment, whether it is a real ID or not?
Yeah. So if you're wanting to schedule an appointment, you want to do that well in advance. We're currently booked up 90 days out pretty much everywhere in the state, unless there's a canceled or unconfirmed appointment that comes available. Our appointments are just in the morning. Every afternoon at every location in the state is dedicated to walk-ins only. And so that is another option. If you're someone who needs something in the near term and you haven't been able to find an appointment, the walk-in hours are your best bet.
And that was Miles Harris' full interview with a DMV official in North Carolina. And just a reminder, I know you've heard it everywhere, but I want to remind you here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, there are only a few weeks left to get that real ID. It's a star of the top right of your ID that you get. Real ID, you can use it to get through TSA for your flight, for get into in and out of federal buildings. So again, that was an official from North Carolina DMV. So Miles also talked to an official from South Carolina's DMV. Let's listen in.
So we are obviously talking, it's getting close to that crunch time when the deadline, I should say, when it comes to the real IDs. Overall, have you guys been getting like an overwhelmingly amount of appointments trying to get scheduled around this time of year?
Well, the beautiful thing is we don't have appointments for those. You come in and you get your real ID. There are a lot of states that are struggling with this. Right now, we're at 62%. We should be well ahead of that, but people tend to procrastinate. I expect there to be a surge and a half come the afternoon of the 7th of May when people don't get on airplanes. But in the meantime, we are meeting demand. We're having no issues at all. In some places, there are slightly longer lines, but as an average across the state, we have been averaging at the smaller DMVs below 12 minutes, and at the larger DMVs below 30 minutes to go ahead, even with the increased demand of both Real ID and transactions that require fees where people now have money from their taxes to go ahead and come into the DMV.
Now, you mentioned that you guys might start to kind of get an uptick here closer to that actual
Sure.
deadline date. How do you plan on addressing that or handling that when it does come?
Are you making it sound like we can't do it already? It's
No,
not
no,
an
no.
issue.
No.
You know, I jokingly kid around and tell everybody that, you know, if you want to go ahead and take my recommendation and wait until the 6th or 7th of May, I'm all in, because if you're sitting in the waiting line in the DMV, you're meeting your neighbors, and there's nothing better in South Carolina than an opportunity to meet your neighbors. That said, if you were smart, you went to the DMV very early on because you don't want to be stuck not being able to get on an airplane, not being able to get into a military installation, or not being able to get into a federal building. And that's what's at risk if you don't arrive.
Kevin, really my last question for you, man. Any piece of advice? I know you mentioned that too, trying to get in there early. Anything else that people need to know when it comes to trying to get, whether it's a Real ID, trying to get anything situated at the DMV in South Carolina for you guys?
Sure. Number one, there is only one official site for the DMV. It's scdmvonline.com. Why do I mention that? If you don't want to be inconvenienced by a longer line, then you go on, and all 66 DMVs are there. Not only are they online, they're going to tell you how long the line is at that DMV specifically. So if you're going to a big DMV and it's going to be the last day of the month, you're probably going to go ahead and stand in line for a while. But if you don't want to do that, go find one of the smaller DMVs in the area and one of the more rural locations, and you'll probably have no line at all. You'll walk in, they'll check you in, but you will know that because you have used our website. Not only does our website tell you how many people are in line, it tells you how long the line is. And if you push a button, it will actually take you to that DMV. I can't make it any easier.